morning, everybody, and welcome to our call today, which is all about our 5-day Slimdown Kickstart program. Today, we'll give you a little bit of an overview and we'll actually go through some tips on how to manage, well, in particular for us at this time in the year, it's Easter, but any kind of special occasion that you might have coming up, which potentially could derail you a little bit from the program. So it's just some tips on how to manage that, and then we'll have at the end a little bit of feedback from some of our participants on what they've noticed and what they've experienced over the program. So my name is Heather Billing. I'm the co-creator of the program along with Murray France, and I'll be with you today as we go through this call. So thanks so much for joining us. So just a little bit about the program and how it came about. Murray France and I have put this together because we've based it on our own experiences as we started to get a little bit older. The things that we used to do as far as weight loss went just weren't working as well as they previously had been. And we had also been separately, it turned out, investigating and using fasting for ourselves to actually see what kind of results that we could get. And we were amazed by the results that we got. So we thought that we would love to put a program together for people to just experience the benefits for themselves and have something that could really make a difference, because this is what we found for ourselves. We had found something that was actually working and helping us to, get to the desired weight that we wanted to be. So we have a fantastic booklet that we've put together for you to step you through each section of the program. We combine that with, of course, the wonderful Modern nutritional products that will be working with detoxifying, kickstarting your system, and helping just to get everything moving as it should and support the whole process. And for those of you that actually choose to join us, we have a fantastic Facebook group where that we, support each other. You become part of the community. We have recipes. People are putting in, this is what I noticed this week, and lots of great ideas that go into that group, and also a messenger group just to support each other, because it does make a difference if you are part of something where there's other people doing exactly what you are and sometimes going through the same challenges, and then we can all celebrate when people have the great results. So that's a little overview about the program. If you're watching this for the first time or you're interested, then reach out to us. We're happy to add you to our Facebook group, and you can get started once you have all the nutritional products to support you, because it is very much part of what we do. And then you'll have access to all the amazing food guides, how much water you should drink, how much exercise you should do. So it's all encapsulated in our booklet. So to get started on our content today, I did want to just mention to you a few ideas, a few tips that can be helpful for us. We're coming into Easter this coming weekend, and it doesn't matter whether it's Easter or it's any special occasion, but we wanted to just share a few things with you to how do you manage being on a weight loss program around all the yummy food that can be potentially available, and especially with Easter. We have hot cross buns, there's lots of chocolate, there's lots of yummy food. Often it's a time for getting together with family, and they're possibly not going to be catering to your individual food needs. So it's kind of managing yourself around when special events are actually on. And it could be like going to a wedding, it could be a weekend away, it could be, lots of different things that come along in our life. And we still want to have a life, absolutely. We still want to celebrate the great things that we have in life, and often that comes hand in hand with food, which is really interesting. So just how do we manage ourselves as well as enjoy the moment, because that really is what it's about. It's about enjoying life and being able to incorporate the program where possible. So just coming into Easter, of course, the most important thing, I think, with anything that comes up in our lives is just to, as much as possible, still focus on the length of fasting, because I do believe that that makes a huge difference. So where possible, just remember anything from 12 hours onwards is a bonus for our fasting and for our fat burning. So whatever you can manage up to the 16 hours is going to really help you with then what else happens after that. So just sort of keep that in mind. And I mean, if it doesn't work out, if you're with family and, they've got breakfast on the table at, 7 a.m. and you're eating with them, well then, look, just enjoy the moment and, know that you actually have a program that you can get back onto to get you back on track after this particular event happens, which I think is really exciting, because in the past, if you were clueless as to what to do, well, then it sort of, can just, get out of hand sort of thing. But we do have something that, okay, once the event is over, get back on track. So first point is the fasting. Just try and continue that where possible. The next thing is, of course, we have an abundance of chocolate available to us at this time of the year. Like I just went into the supermarket yesterday and it's just jumping out at me everywhere. It's so much chocolate. So when we look at chocolate, of course, I love chocolate. It's one of my favourite foods. Just be a little bit, wise in your decisions, I guess we could say, because we know that dark chocolate is much better for us. So it doesn't affect our glucose levels quite so rapidly, and it does have lots of good antioxidants. So look for your dark chocolate options if you're going for Easter treats. Again, like for me, I'm not going to restrict myself because I love chocolate. So, but I will, I'll stick to the darker chocolates and those kind of things. Now, of course, another great thing that we celebrate with Easter is hot cross buns. Now, carb overload, sugar overload. So how can we combat that? So again, it's about, quantities. Maybe, in the past you might have had 2 or more or something. So maybe just have 1 this time. And when you do have it, enjoy it, because it is about being in the moment and it is about, enjoying life. But we also have other things that you can use if you are having, carbs. We've got our carb reducer or kidney white bean supplement, depending on where you're located. So they're great products to actually take because they actually inhibit the body absorbing the carbs. So that's another little, good backup to have strategy to have, so that if you are having more carbs, then you can just take a couple of those as well. Now, the other thing, of course, is with everything that's going on is just looking at your exercise, because if we're suddenly not eating, that well and eating more carbs, more chocolate, etc., but we're not actually moving our bodies, well, then that's also going to, be a little bit of a challenge as far as our weight loss goes. So wherever possible, get out for a nice walk. We're coming into autumn here, which is my favourite season. So, getting out and getting some fresh air will make a difference, just moving your body as well. And also just think consciously too about, of course, the amount of water that you're drinking, because, that is also going to help with just getting everything moving and having your body, have the right amount of fluid. If we're dehydrated, the body tends to hold on to things as well. So just be a little bit aware of that as well. And, for those of us who've been doing the program, we're kind of into a habit now of making sure we're having the water. But just a little reminder, also because the weather is cooling down as well, our desire to, drink water automatically is probably a little bit reduced. So it is a conscious thought that we do actually have to keep on track of and just monitor how much water that we are actually drinking. And the other thing is, of course, as I mentioned, if all else fails and everything that we've talked about goes out the window and you just have a rip-roaring time with lots of chocolate, lots of hot cross buns, lots of carbs and wonderful time, we've got the program for you to get back on track. So we do want to emphasise that, life is to be lived. We want to enjoy special moments, and we don't want to be one of those obnoxious people that goes to home to family and says, oh, I can't eat this and I can't eat that and I'm not eating until this time, and I've got to make sure that I get up for my 5K run in the morning, and, you know, if I wake everyone up, too bad. So we don't want to be one of those people. We want to just remember it's a moment in time. And as I said, we do have a great program to get you back on track, regardless of how things go. On that note, I do believe I'm going to ask Steve if you wouldn't mind sharing, because I believe that you have been away for a weekend where that you maybe enjoyed your time away and have actually gotten back on track. So can you just share a little bit of your experience, Steve?
Thanks, Heather. Yes. So last weekend was SRC. So I knew that it was going to be a stretch. As it turned out, for me, there was 3 parties that I had to go to. So I had an awards achievers on Thursday night, a birthday party on Friday night, and then the gala night on Saturday night. And it was I just gave up trying to control what I was, going to eat. I still managed, in part, the intermittent fasting, so I didn't let that go entirely. But the weekend was full, so getting exercise in was a challenge as well. The following week, so last week, I went back on track. My weight is back almost to the point it was before the convention. So I'm really happy with that. I had a fantastic time. I really had a great time. I wasn't worried too much about what I was eating or anything like that. I just let myself enjoy the time, and knowing that when I got home, I'd be back on track and it'd be all under control again. So there was just no drama. It's easy to manage.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, Steve. It is, enjoying whatever the occasion is, and then just knowing, okay, now when I go back home, I know exactly what I need to do. So yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And like you, I love chocolate. So Easter is going to be another interesting time for me. But
yeah,
I'm not worried.
No, that's right, exactly. Yeah. And it is about enjoying it. And I did also hear something that if you have a little bit of protein with your chocolate, so if you have, say, like a few almonds or something like that with your chocolate, that it actually, the release of the glucose into the blood system is actually slower because it's got the protein there as well. So I haven't done much research on that. That was something that I did hear. So I thought, oh, well, that's interesting. I'll do that as well. I'll incorporate that as well because, nuts and chocolate, a match made in heaven. So.
Yeah, so I was going to say dark chocolate-coated almonds is my new health tablet.
Exactly. Perfect. Oh, thanks for that, Steve. That's great. If there's anyone else that would like to share what they've noticed from being on the program, or anyone has any questions, just unmute.
Yes, I'm here. So so I'm on my travel holiday. So I have travelled to Victoria. So I live in New South Wales, and so I've been here all of March. So I don't go back until this coming Friday. So I haven't had access to a set of scales. But you know what? You notice it within yourself, how you feel, your clothing. And but then, as Steve was saying, so also I went to the SOC, but then I've also got catch-ups with family and friends. And so it's not about punishing yourself or restricting yourself, I can't eat that. I mean, if friends happen to say, oh, is there something that you prefer to have? Well, then I skip in, look, cold chicken and maybe some salad would be lovely. So, but we're still here to enjoy life, but we are learning about how to be more healthy in what we do. And as Steve mentioned, trying to just keep that intermittent fasting, the very least, going. yeah, that we find that's just such an important part to what we're doing. So my partner, Farmer Steve, so I've been chatting with him this morning. So yeah, so we've both probably lost around between the 5 and 6 kilos, which is amazing because we both feel so much better for it. And we've been able to maintain that, which is just fantastic. So even if you do have the day where you've been out and you've had some special treats, just noticing that, it's not piling back on again. We are maintaining the weight. Yeah, so that's really awesome. So I'm loving that. And it will be interesting to get back on my scales when I get home. I'm sure I'm probably fluctuated maybe a kilo or so, but I generally feel, well in myself. So, no, it's been really good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you, Karen. And you can also, I really notice it just in your face as well. Like, you can tell that you have definitely lost the weight. So, and the great thing is too, with the maintaining of it, I think what really makes this quite unique, because as we've said before, it can be easy sometimes to lose the weight. Like, that can sometimes be the easy part. We can go on a program and we can lose the weight. And then slowly, as old habits kind of creep in, then it comes back on, and it can be a bit of a yo-yo thing. So I think the fact that with the maintenance, our lifestyle side of the program, it is just such a great way to maintain. And it is kind of like relearning how we should be eating and what we should be eating and that sort of thing. So I think it's a great program, and Murray France and I are just so excited that people are having the great results that they are as well, because we tried it for ourselves, and now the fact that it works for other people so well, it's really, really exciting. Thank you, Diane. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I haven't been on many calls, but somehow I managed today because I was in Tauranga yesterday for the day, which was crazy, and then we came home last night. So I'm here today. All I want to say is, it's a great program. It really is. And I've lost the weight, 5 kgs, whatever, 6. And, that roughly a pound a week, which is, I think, is pretty standard if you continue to do that, even over the 2 months when we're coming up 3 months. So it's still okay. But what you said about the 1 carb, 1 protein, I was taught that years ago. Always have 1 carb, 1 protein, because there is a reaction, and you touched on it. And you said about the glucose. I don't really know the full story, so it'd be really good if you found what it actually does. But that is 1 carb, 1 protein, always. I was told by sports person, trainer, whatever he was, but that was always in my brain. 1 carb, 1 protein. Never do it without. The water definitely. The water definitely. And as I listened to Kerry this morning, she said she did a test. I don't know if you heard it, about no water one day and then water the next day. And then guess what? She lost the weight on the day with the water. So it pushes every function of your body, your kidneys, your liver, everything's working with it. So, of course, you're going to lose it. And that's what she proved. And then also, I like the way this is our roadmap to have better health, because we are not continually eating, which I was. I mean, I was just such a pig. Like, seriously, I would eat all day, every day. And now I can easily fast 16, 17 hours because, I actually don't need it. I don't need it.
Yeah.
But, and another interesting thing was, though, I played bridge, and I didn't damn well have any food. I should have had some sort of breakfast before I went. I didn't get food until 1 o'clock. And guess what? I faded. I had my shake and everything, but because I didn't eat, I couldn't eat. It was like 10 o'clock, and that's when I normally eat. So I didn't eat, but I actually faded later in the day. I thought, what the hell's wrong with me? And I didn't have an energy shot, or I didn't have any booster. I forgot. I thought, oh my God, that was crazy. So but overall, it's a great program, and your support and everything. But I'd love to know about that glucose, what you mentioned on 1 carb, 1 protein, the glucose levels or something. I don't know. Yesterday I ran off the rails because I was in Tauranga, and I was at a boarding school reunion. Of course, all the food. I drank 3/4. I drank 3/4 a bottle of cherry juice. Oh man. I had a good sleep. I wasn't going to drink alcohol because we had to drive, but I ate every bit of rubbish I could eat. And yeah, sure, I put on weight, but like today, nah, back on. It's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you
Over
for
to you.
sharing.
That's so good. I'm
Yeah,
sorry I'm not
so-
on more often, but it's just too much happening.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Thanks for sharing, Diane. And also, like, we really appreciate when people come onto our calls, but it's also, you know, putting the posts into the Facebook group and the Messenger group as well. Like, it all helps, and you know, it's different avenues of sharing information. So, yeah, it is great. And again, you know, we've got something to follow when we do enjoy ourselves a little bit too much. Get back on the program and, you know, start getting the results again. So, if there's anyone else that would like to share, we would love to hear from you. If you've got any questions, let us know, reach out to us. If you're watching this for the first time and you're interested to try the program, please reach out to either myself or Marie France, and we can get you started with, you know, especially after Easter, it might be something that you would like to do. So
we're going to enjoy it, Heather. We're going to enjoy it.
Yes, exactly. That's right. Because we're here to enjoy life, okay?
Okay.
I was thinking of that saying that I used to hear a lot when I was growing up. I'm not sure if anyone else used to hear, but a moment on the lips, forever on the hips was a saying that we used to hear. But I was thinking about that, and I thought, well, we can put a little bit of twist on that now. We can say that a moment on our lips, and then we can fast it off our hips. So,
Clever.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Enjoy your Easter break, your celebration. Enjoy the moment, and we look forward to chatting to you again in the near future.